Ooh, got my breakfast, got some tea, and ready for the hustle. Yo, what's up guys? Welcome to a whole new series called the Side Hustle Creation. So I came up with this idea just yesterday and I was like, it'll be pretty cool for me to document my kind of steps going towards building a side hustle. Now the one thing I want to be able to catch you guys up on is basically I have been doing side hustles for this last 7 months or 2019. It's basically about to be 8 months now. And the one thing I was doing was basically for my side hustles, I was doing e-commerce and I was like hopping on trends. And basically yesterday I decided enough is enough. Maybe I should focus on actually building a brand. And I was like, what would be pretty cool other than just building the brand? I was like, we can be able to document the entire journey itself and all the different steps that I go through of doing this kind of things. Now the cool thing is, as much as it's a side hustle, I still do use the same principles, the same foundations as building a main hustle, right? Of course, the side hustle is more of a supplement to my main hustle as far as cash flow and as far as gaining experience and knowledge and different things like that is the whole point of this side hustle series. Now, the other thing about a side hustle is that it's not going to be consuming as much of my time, as much as my focus, and not really as a top priority. That's the whole point of a side hustle. Now, on this first episode today, I'm going to be going over what I did on day 0 and of course what I'm doing today on day number 1 and already a couple of the few challenges that have already been faced today. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. Now the first thing I'm going to cover is basically I have my kind of like note sheet right here on my computer. I'm not really sure if you can be able to see that. I don't really think you can, but I'm basically just going to be going over this pretty quickly, okay? So now the first thing I'm going to be going over is basically my general business model that I'm using for this side hustle, right? So the first thing is it's going to be a business model. It's going to be based on e-commerce. It's going to be a point of sale. It's going to be online. So it's basically you deciding when you're building your own business, is it going to be a physical good? Is it going to be a digital good? Is it going to be some kind of whatever kind of services you're going to be providing? So you have to understand that's the main core part of the business model. It's going to be an e-commerce and it's going to be providing physical goods, but I'm going to be using a drop shipping method where it basically means the product is going to be going directly to the actual person who's placing the order directly from the actual supplier, so I don't have to worry about inventory and other different things like that. So that's pretty cool, right? Now the next part right here that I have down is basically, you know, my target market, right? So there's a couple of cool things I want to tell you guys, right? So I am working on something similar like this one, but it's more of kind of a long-term focused experiment where I'm experimenting as far as doing e-commerce in Africa, especially in Kenya and Tanzania, where I'm basically a little bit more closer towards, and I'm gonna be doing that a little bit more detail later, so I'm not even gonna jump into that right now. But this product itself, this store that I'm doing right now, it's gonna be doing targeting the United States, targeting Europe, and also targeting Asia market sector as well, since those are the ones that I know I can be able to push this product towards. And also, if you are in Africa, I believe you guys should also not, like, the one thing when I talk to other African entrepreneurs, I always tell them, like, you guys should not only be thinking about, like, you selling your products to Kenyans or selling your products to South Africans or Nigerians, but what you can actually be able to do with e-commerce, you can be able to sell things and goods and services to other people around the world, especially when you're in this age of the internet. So you do not want to limit yourself when it comes to that. All right? Okay, let's jump over to the next part right here. So what product am I going to be selling? Well, it's going to be a little bit more top secret, guys. So the whole product or the whole journey of this, and I'm not going to be revealing my actual website, the logo, the brand name, and I'm also not going to be revealing the product. I'm sorry guys, I just cannot do that because as much as a side hustle, I'm still very competitive in this, right? And since I'm basically documenting everything from day 1, like literally today's when it's starting off, then of course I don't want someone else to basically copy exactly what I'm doing and maybe saturate the market in certain ways or maybe use too much of my competitive information I'm going to be giving you guys. Now the one thing I'm going to be doing is giving you the fundamental information, the fundamental knowledge and principles which helped me or are helping me build this business, and I'm going to be going over my budgeting, my finances, my marketing tactics, and everything else that's really more crucial, because at the end of the day, it's not about you trying to copy the same exact product that I'm going to be doing or the same exact niche or whatever it might be. It's going to be basically you trying to be able to see what fundamental knowledge, what fundamental mistakes I was making, and what lessons can you learn from me so you can be able to apply it to your main hustle or your own side hustle, right? As I mentioned, I'm using the same information, the same tactics as I do for my main hustle, just that I'm also doing it more of a smaller scale as far as what product I'm trying to scale and etc. All right, guys? Now, the next thing I'm going to be looking at here is basically my budgeting, right? So how much am I going to be budgeting and what is going to start with? So I'm going to start this product or this company with basically $1,000. Now, some of you guys might not have $1,000 to start with, and trust me, I understand that because the last business that I started, or the last side hustle that I started, it started off with basically about $400, and I was able to use that money to be able to grow $400 into $10,000, and it's been able to save up, and I'm able to kind of do other different things with that amount of capital, right? So this is where I'm starting this one off with $1,000. It's basically my new $250 as compared to previously I started off with $250, but now I'm starting off with $1,000 that I'm using the same principles, the same foundations, and also a little bit more improved because of course I've been able to grow and become wiser. So yeah, my budget is going to be $1,000, and that $1,000 is going to be going towards the website. It's going to be going towards maybe the earlier contractors I'm going to be hiring to help me on the website and stuff like that. And then also it's going to be going into towards me doing marketing and scaling the business, and also reinvesting back in. And I'm going to be documenting the entire financial journey as well, and updating you guys and all those other different things, right? So the other part that I do have here is basically the amount that I've already started spending on, and the amount that I've already started spending on is basically $50 is going towards the website. I'm using Shopify for my e-commerce website, which you can be able to use as well. As the Shopify standard membership is about maybe I think $29.95 a month, but the additional costs are going towards different applications that I'm using on the app. On the App Store from the Shopify website, right? So that's why it's going to be costing me a little bit more than the regular monthly fee. And the next part that I do have down there is a contractor who I'm going to be paying $75 to basically go on the website, and they're going to be helping me some of the kind of little nitty bitty stuff that I personally did not want to jump straight into. And then also, guys, it's good for you to be able to delegate. But previously when I had $250, I was going to do all this all by myself. But now that I have a $1,000 budget, I do have $25. It's going to be able to basically speed up the process and help me be able to launch the website even a little bit faster. So yeah, guys, that's basically kind of the outline of the different things that I'm working on right now, and I'm gonna jump into day zero. Okay, I'm gonna jump into day zero. What I mean by day zero is how did I come up with the concept and the idea of actually jumping into this product and different things like that. So the first thing I want to say is that I started off by thinking about what am I passionate about, or what am I closely passionate about, or what do I feel like was a calling. Now here's a couple of things I want to tell you guys. When it comes to side hustles, you do want to be at least more passionate towards, or at least have some kind of thing that's pulling you into it. For me personally, what's pulling me into this is building a brand. Now the product itself, I personally do not use the product like, okay, I do use the product itself. Of course I can't reveal the product, but I do use the product. But I do also see the need of a lot of people who would want this, as in it's a product that makes people feel good, look good, and this, I'm already kind of give you hints what kind of product it is. That's as much hints I'm gonna go there. But it's basically a product that's able to give people value, not only in the physical sense, but also in the emotional sense, and which is probably what you want to look at when it comes to a product. You look at a product that's going to be able to impact people's lives, right? And that's always how you're going to look at it. Even if it's like a simple thing, like let's say for example, I don't know, a shoe, right? You might think like a shoe is just basically something you wear, but you have to think about it. A shoe is basically what non-person wears. It makes them feel comfortable in their own skin. It makes them feel good. It goes well with their dress, goes well with their jeans, whatever, their shorts. It basically makes people feel good and makes them associate with a certain brand and certain things like that. So yeah, that's kind of a couple of things you want to think about when you're looking for a product. Now of course it might be a different niche. It might be something in health. It might be something in physical exercise. It might be something in food. I don't know what it might be, but at the end of the day, you're making people feel good and you're adding comfort level to their life, and also at the same time you're adding value to their life in one way or the other, and that's why they're going to be paying you for that product. So that's the first part that I started thinking about. What's one thing that I'm basically passionate about? I was like, I'm not really too crazy about the product itself, but I'm very much crazy about building a brand around this product. My craziness is basically about my passion of marketing, my passion of building brands. That's what inspired me to do this, as compared to before when I was trying to do e-commerce. I was just hopping on different products and not even caring about building a brand. I was just like, dude, I just want to sell stuff, and that was not really a good mentality to go into when you're doing business. You want to think about how your passions are going to be lined up and how you're going to impact other people's lives, and that's kind of what I was thinking about on this section. Now the other thing that I do have here on my day zero is basically I also researched competitors, I researched the product market, I researched all the different price points, I researched what it takes to build a certain brand like this one, and I basically try to get as much information and knowledge and different things like that. And of course the other thing that I did do was basically find out about like, what is it called? Like seasonal sales, like when certain products are certain periods. And the store I'm going to be making is basically going to be having a kind of like a summer and a fall type of different products are going to be happening here and there. So certain products are going to do well in a certain season time frame, other products are going to do well in a different season, right? So I already started to understand how to market during different seasons and etc. And all this came from doing market research. So you want to always make sure that you're doing market research on your competitors, and also trying to understand how they're marketing, how they're branding, when they're selling what and when they're not selling what, and how they are approaching the marketing tactics and different things like that. So those are a couple of things that you guys want to think about, okay? And the other thing that I did was on day one, objective today, is basically I set up the Shopify website. I launched all the different things as far as like the applications and stuff like that. And I haven't worked on the About Us page, I haven't worked on the landing page. I basically thought that I'm gonna work on loading up the products to the website first, and then from there I'm gonna be able to design the website around those products, right? Now this is a couple of things that I ran into issues today so far, right? So the first issue, I'm sorry guys, I know I'm running around in this videos because it's day one and I'm trying to catch things up from day 0, but it's gonna be more of a smoother transition on later episode series for this side hustle stuff, all right? So what I basically did was I was gonna hire a person who's gonna help me load the products up to the website. Now you might be thinking it's just adding what products to the website, but no, it's a little bit complicated because certain applications have to sync with the actual product. And I was basically calculating the amount of time it was gonna take me to convert all those things by myself. Now yes, I could have been able to do it in basically 5 days, but I was like, I wanna be able to kind of move things faster and basically get everything done in 2 days. So the first part, it was gonna cost me like $250. One of the contractors I spoke to was gonna charge me $400. I was like, whoa, that's like 40% of my entire budget. That does not make any sense. But I found a person who was charging me $250. I was still like, that's too much of a high percent. It's 25% of my working budget. So I found another person who I basically told like, hey, look, I'm gonna do a little bit more of the work then, and I'm only gonna give you $75 and basically only take expense of about 7.5%. Now this is the starting phase of the product and everything else, like setting up the website, the foundation. This is like the starting capital, and I did not want to be my starting capital or starting cost gonna be such a huge percent, which is not gonna be good because I want more of the capital to go towards marketing and branding and etc. Okay guys, so that's basically what I have you guys today on this day 0. I'm gonna be documenting the sales, how much sales is gonna be doing, how much profit is gonna be doing, the ups and the downs and all of those different challenges, all those other different awesome stuff. And I hope this series is gonna be pretty helpful to you guys, and I hope it's gonna be able to have more impact to other people out there. Other than that guys, thank you very much for watching this episode, and I hope this series is gonna be fire and gonna be able to bring more heat to all of you out there. Alright, thanks for watching. Talk more later. Peace out.